joking. This is stupid. Okay, it's a stupid test. This is a waste of what we never learned this, and I'm just. You know what? I don't care. I don't care. You can have the test. I'm done. I'm just done. Stupid.
I'm sorry for the disturbance, everyone. Take a few moments and refocus and get back to your exams. I'll add another 10 minutes onto your exam time to make up for the disturbance. Okay?
Oh, Dominic, please come in. Dominic, I believe these items belong to you.
Thanks.
Dominic, I asked you to come see me today so we can discuss what happened during your exam. I got a report from the exam proctor. Can you tell me what happened?
I don't know. I just had to get out of there.
Okay, can you tell me a bit more?
Not really. I just needed to leave.
I'm really concerned about you, and, well, I'm wondering if an exam accommodation to write in a private space would work.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I'm wondering if an exam accommodation, like writing in a quiet location in the exam center, would work better for you.
I don't have a problem. So, what do you mean?
Well, your behavior during the exam was very disruptive to the other students. A number of my students have an accommodation to write in the exam center. It's a calmer environment. I'm just wondering if that's something that might work better for you. Usually students who have this type of accommodation arrange it through disability services.
Well, I don't have a disability. And I don't need accommodation. I don't need the exam center. I just need to redo the exam, and I'll be fine.
Wait a minute, Dominic. You need to understand that your behavior was very disruptive to the other students, and that disruption could affect their marks. If you wish to write with the other students, you need to write your exam in silence and leave your exam on the desk when you're finished.
Yeah, okay, I get it. Don't freak out in front of the others. Now, can we talk about my makeup exam?
Well, you haven't yet given me a reason why you didn't finish the last exam. And to be honest, I'm worried the same thing will happen during the final.
I already told you I'll be fine.
Okay. I'm just concerned about your success in this course. Based on your marks for the assignments, I know you can do the work.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, here's what I can do. The midterm was worth 20%, and the final is worth 30%. I will make your final worth 50%.
Why can't I just have a makeup exam?
Because you haven't given me any reason to do so.
I already told you. I had to get out of there. This is so unfair.
Hello, Office for Students with Disabilities. Sid speaking.
Hi, I'm a professor in the math department. I'm having a bit of a dilemma on how to manage one of my students.
Oh, I can help you with that. Tell me what happened.
Okay, well, I have this student who's doing exceptionally well on his weekly assignments, but last week, 20 minutes into the midterm exam, he stood up, started shouting, tore up his exam, and stormed out of the exam hall. And his behavior disrupted the other students. And he even left his belongings behind. And the exam center called me and told me what happened. And now they want to know what the plan is going into the final exam. And whether he's going to be writing in a private room. I'm worried that it will happen again, and I don't know what to do next. I'm not trained for these kind of situations.
Can you tell me if this is a student with a disability?
Well, I don't have any paperwork from your office, and he says he doesn't have a disability. I thought maybe it would be something to do with exam stress.
Okay, so you're calling for a consult about a student who has a perceived mental health issue. Did you speak with the student after the exam?
Yes, I told him about exam accommodations and said he should visit your office.
And how did that conversation go?
Well, not very well. I met with him in person today, and I asked him to explain his behavior, and all he said was that he had to get out of the exam room. I asked if he needed an exam accommodation and said he should visit the Office for Students with Disabilities to look at alternative exam arrangements. But he refused and he left, quite upset.
So you made him aware of the possibility of an exam accommodation, but he wasn't receptive.
Not at all. Now I'm wondering if I should have said anything.
Well, you acted in the best interest of the student. Sometimes it's hard to know how to respond.
So what should I do?
Well, this is not a student registered with disability services. I would feel more comfortable being involved in a departmental decision. Perhaps we could meet with the department head to discuss this issue.
You think I should get the department head involved?
Yes, I do. Sometimes decisions are made by individual professors, and there is no institutional memory as only one person is involved. This way, the department can decide how they would like to proceed with this type of situation, and in the future.
That's great. Thank you. I'll set up a meeting. Thanks again. Bye.
No, I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Thanks again.
Have a good day. Bye.
So Professor Jameson has brought me up to date on the situation. What are our next steps?
Well, I'd like to first know if there was any other disruptions involving the student during the exams.
Actually, that's a very good question. I don't know. He's a student in the engineering department, so most of his courses are engineering courses. I can ask them.
Well, that would be a good idea. If there was disruptions by the student during the exams, that would show it could be part of a pattern. However, if it was only during your math exam, then it might be subject related.
I never considered that.
I can ask the department head of engineering if they've had any issues during engineering exams. I won't mention any names. Have you past experience with situations like this?
Yes, I have, but usually it involves students who are registered with disability services. This situation involves a student with a perceived disability and is not registered with disability services.
Should we tell the student that the math department has made the decision not to let him write with his peers based on what happened at the midterm?
Yes, you could do that. Or Professor Jameson could document his discussion, explaining that the accommodations were mentioned, and that the student had declined to consider the option.
Yeah, I can do that.
Also, the student should be made aware of the consequences to any disruptive behavior during exams.
What would we do if it happened again? I already have 2 students asking for consideration on the midterms because of the disturbance.
If you had a concern about the behavior of any student during an exam, how would you handle it?
Well, we would contact security and they would intervene.
So it would seem that you have a protocol already in place.
So, are you saying that we let the student write the exam with his peers, but with the understanding that security would intervene should there be an issue?
Well, is that a decision that both of you are comfortable with?
Well, yes,
Yes.
I guess so.
But we need to let the student know the plan beforehand.
Yes, that would be fair. He needs to know what the protocol is for any student who shows disruptive behavior during an exam.
I was unaware that I was acting under the notion of perceived disability, but I guess that's what I was doing.
I have made copies of the policy from the Ontario Human Rights Commission preventing discrimination based on mental health disabilities. There is also more information on perceived disabilities on page 49.
I do have one more question, though. If the same behavior does occur during the final exam, what would we do going forward?
Well, that would be a departmental decision. You have honored the student's desire to write with his peers, but you can't continue to allow disruptions that would affect other students. So the student would have to be given a location away from his peers to write the exam.
I see. Well, let's see what happens at the final exam. We're all concerned for the student and don't want another disturbance. If it happens again, we'll need to meet. Thank you for your insight. It's reminded me that we're dealing with the whole student. It's not just about academics. I will share this information with the other faculty, and we will discuss this at the next department meeting.
That will be great.